If you're a wholesaler or a flipper or do other types of real estate investing, perhaps you've considered getting your real estate license. If you do decide to get it, as an investor, your license should pay for itself at least 10 times over. On this video, I'm going to show you how. Get ready to learn 8 benefits to make additional money with a real estate license coming up.
This video is brought to you by Flipster, the software that gives you instant access to every motivated seller lead in the country, including MLS leads, absentee owners, pre-foreclosures, vacant houses, Craigslist leads, and REOs. Check it out now at getflipster.com.
If you're new here, I'm Jerry Norton. I make millions of dollars a year wholesaling and flipping houses, and here on my YouTube channel, I show you how to do the same. So if you want to be a flipping genius like me and live your dream life, subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. I recently did a poll on the community tab here on YouTube about investors having a real estate license. Of the 1,300 people who took the survey, 20% said that they were licensed and that it was beneficial to them as an investor. 56% said they were not licensed but think it's a good idea and plan to get licensed. And 23% said that they did not have a license and didn't think it was a good idea for investors. So, what's the right answer? Hopefully this video will help you decide what's best for you. When it comes to getting your real estate license, there is a cost, obviously, but the bigger issue is the time commitment it takes to get a license, which I'll explain in a minute. When I got my license 18 years ago, it was the last thing I had time to do. And later when I got my broker's license, I was even more busy. I remember studying for my classes and exams at 2 in the morning. Now, it nearly killed me, but now after all these years, I can honestly say as a full-time investor, getting and maintaining my license has been a wise decision and allowed me to add hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional income to my investing business, which I'll show you how, so keep watching. In order to decide if it's worth the trade-off in time and money, let me first give a brief overview of what it takes and how it works. Because real estate is governed at the state level, each state has their own licensing division and their own guidelines for issuing real estate licenses. That means a real estate license is only recognized in the state in which it was obtained. So if you're like me and you do deals remotely in a different state than where you live and you want to get a license, you'll need to do that in the state where you transact, not where you live. Keep in mind, some states offer reciprocity with other states. For example, Florida and Illinois play nice with each other. So if you have a license in Florida, you can get a license in Illinois. You would just need to pass the Illinois state exam or vice versa. So step 1 is to decide the state where you want to get a license. Step 2 is to take and pass a pre-licensing class either in person or online. Now this is equivalent to taking college credits, and again, the class hours depends on the state. In Florida, the class is 63 hours, and in California, it's 135 hours. Why is it so much in California? I don't know, other than California makes everything more difficult and more expensive than anywhere else. Once you complete the pre-licensing class, step 2 is to pass the state exam, so make sure you study. Once you pass the state exam and you pay the state some fees, step 3 is to find a sponsoring broker. This is important. You cannot activate your license without being under a broker. Now, the broker's responsibility varies depending on the state, but basically, the broker's role is to provide oversight and support to their agents. Step 4 is to sign up for the Multiple Listing Service, or MLS, which in most markets happens to be owned by the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, who requires you join their board of realtors and pay dues in order to get access to the MLS. Yeah, that's not a racket. At that point, you now have an active real estate license. All said and done, it may cost $1,000, $1,500 or so to get your license, and about $1,000 or so annually to maintain your license for things like MLS, continuing education, insurance, renewal fees, and so on. So, should you do it? Is it worth the time and cost? I believe it is. Let me share with you 8 ways to benefit from having a real estate license, 4 of which are very specific ways to make additional money with that license. First is the education. When I made the commitment to become a real estate investor 18 years ago, I committed to do everything I could in my power to become an expert at real estate. While a real estate license doesn't teach about wholesaling or investing, it will help you understand so much about real estate contracts and title, discrimination, disclosure, and so on. For me, I took that education seriously. It wasn't just about passing a test. I really wanted to understand how real estate worked so that I could be a better, smarter investor. Later, when I got my broker's license, I continued that mindset of learning for the sake of mastering my craft. That path of self-mastery has paid off tremendously for me. If you're serious about real estate investing as a career, getting licensed is another tool in your toolbox. The second benefit to getting a license is access to the multiple listing service, or MLS, which is privy only to licensed agents. The MLS not just gives you direct access to properties for sale, but also access to the most robust data for comping and valuing properties. And I did a video where I showed how to use the MLS to not only comp a wholesale deal, but also find a cash buyer. I'll put the link to that video in the description below and you can check it out later. The MLS is also connected to public records, which is good for researching title history, who's on title, how much the owner paid for the property, how much they owe, and who the lien holders are. And if you're in one of the 12 non-disclosure states where access to comps is difficult, the MLS is a lifesaver. The third benefit to getting your license is the ability to set up your own showings. Now, this is a big deal if, like me, you go after on-market deals because you can't access a listed property without a real estate agent to give you access. Not having to rely on an agent and being able to set up your own showings to see distressed properties can be the difference between getting or losing a deal. When I was doing a lot of deals in Metro Detroit and a hot deal came out for sale on market, I was at the house within 15 minutes and making my offer before I even left the property, before anyone else even had a chance to set up a showing with their agent. The fourth benefit to having a real estate license is, if you're a wholesaler, is to meet the regulation requirements if you're in Illinois, Nebraska, Oklahoma. These three states pass laws requiring you to have a real estate license to do certain activities when doing assignments. And if you're not doing deals in those states, you'll be a step ahead of the game by getting your license now, because more states are exploring regulations such as Texas, Kansas, and Missouri, and who knows what other states. Regulating wholesaling is the trend, so as time goes on, more and more states will continue to require a license. So don't wait until it's too late and you're forced to do it. The fifth benefit to getting your real estate license is being able to list your own properties for sale that you flip. Not only does being your own listing agent give you the ability to negotiate directly with buyers, but you can control the entire process, from showings, feedback, inspections, appraisal, and so on. And most importantly, you can save thousands in commissions, which directly impacts your bottom line profit on deals. The sixth benefit to getting your real estate license, which easily pays for itself 10 times over every single year, is being able to use your license on the side. Without really trying, you'll pick up listings and buyers from friends and family and acquaintances that naturally come your way through the course of being actively involved in your market. For example, a guy at your church is looking to buy a house for $500,000 and asks you to be his buyer's agent, and you earn a $15,000 commission. Or your buddy wants to sell his house for $500,000 and you offer him a discount to list it for sale for 2% instead of 3% and make a $10,000 commission. My point is, while doing your investing thing without much effort at all as a side income, you should be able to easily do 5 or 6 retail agent transactions a year. That alone could equate to 6 figures in extra income. Okay, the seventh benefit to getting your real estate license, which also easily pays for itself 10 times over every single year, is getting paid referral fees from other agents. Real estate agents can only pay referral fees to other licensed agents. Now, this is where, as a wholesaler, if all the other benefits I mentioned are not reason enough to get your license, this benefit blows them all away and makes it a complete no-brainer. Here's why. As a wholesaler, 9 out of 10 times the seller is not motivated and wants more than you can pay for all cash. In fact, most times the seller is not motivated and wants a retail price. Rather than throw that lead away, instead, if you're licensed, offer to list the property for sale as an agent. Now, you could list the property for sale yourself and earn a 3% commission, but what I do is I refer the seller to my preferred agent, who pays me half of the 3% list fee commission. That is like earning free money on your throwaway leads. Now, if you think that's brilliant, leave a comment and say, Jerry, you are a flipping genius. Now, quick side note to this strategy. You have to be crystal clear with the seller which hat you're wearing. Are you representing yourself as a principal in the contract and looking out for your own interest? Or are you representing the seller as an agent, in which case you're looking out for the seller's best interest? If you're licensed and acting on your own behalf as an investor, to ensure there isn't any confusion, be sure to get my agency disclosure addendum, where the seller agrees and understands in writing that you are not representing him. And you know me, I'll give that to you for free. I'll put the download link in the description below for you. And finally, the 8th benefit to getting your real estate license is to join my nationwide agent investor sales team. After much consideration, I recently decided to partner with the nationwide brokerage called REAL. There are 5 primary reasons why I joined REAL. First, instead of individual franchises in every market, REAL is just one brokerage. As of this recording, REAL is in 44 states and expanding. That allows me to build a team of investor agents across state lines, which is really cool because we'll be able to work together and collaborate. The second reason why I joined REAL is because of their virtual workplace model. Instead of brick and mortar offices, which are no longer necessary, REAL agents work remotely from anywhere they desire. The third reason why I joined REAL is there aren't costly overhead fees for the agents. Traditional brokerages have hefty setup charges and ongoing overhead expenses that are passed on to agents for things like rent, desk fees, insurance, utilities, furnishings, staff, and more. By not having these operational expenses at REAL, it frees up profits which go back to the REAL agents to provide support, training, and technology. The fourth reason why I joined REAL is because, like me, REAL sees value in helping licensed investors and is working to create tools, services, and training specifically to help licensed wholesalers and investors to be more successful, which I love. And the fifth reason why I joined REAL and why you should join REAL with me is because of the unique revenue sharing plan. REAL agents who refer new agents receive a portion of their new agents' earnings for as long as they are with the company. Just one more way to monetize your license and create additional income. So if you have your real estate license, to learn more about how to join my agent investor team, click the link in the description below to fill out a form, and my team will contact you to see if it's a good fit. So what are the possible downsides to having a license as an investor? I want to talk about this again. Where issues may arise is when you are unclear with the public what your intentions are and your role is in the transaction. Let me explain. If you meet or talk to a seller about his property, are you acting as an investor and looking out for your own best interest and trying to buy at the lowest possible price? Or are you acting as an agent and looking out for the seller's best interest and trying to get the seller the highest possible price? If your role is not crystal clear and you get accused of acting as an agent and not in the best interest of the seller, the real estate commission could have a problem with you. For that reason, be sure to use my agency disclosure addendum when acting as an investor. Not only does this addendum disclose that you are licensed, which is required, but it makes it clear to the seller that you are not acting as an agent and that the seller waives any claim on agency against you. Best of all, like I said, I'll give it to you for free, link in the description. And again, consider joining my agent investor team. Click the link in the description to fill out a form, and my team will call you to see if it's a good fit. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel. With over 1,000 videos, this is the #1 channel on YouTube for all things flipping, and I'll see you on the next video.